Salute, salute, salute. Wow. Blessings, blessings, blessings. What it is, what it do is at, man. Nocturnal Thoughts with a real quick video, then I'll make it out the way. So, as we all heard earlier today, Keith One Time Thurman is out of the fight with Tim Tszyu because of an injury, a torn bicep. You know what I'm saying? He's been plagued with injuries throughout his career, surgeries, bone spurs, a lot of downtime, a lot of, comeback fight, long layoff, comeback fight, long layoff. So for him to have this long layoff, hasn't fought since he fought a smaller guy coming up in weight, Mario Barrios. And then he's been on this long hiatus, going up in a weight class and fighting somebody at the age of 34, 35 against a young champion like Tim Tszyu. It kind of reminded me of Demetrius Andrade getting his shot fighting against El Bandera Rojo, the Mexican monster. A young, sturdy dude in his prime who's on a warpath, trying to get up to the top and fight Canelo. Kind of remind me of Keith Thurman, just like he said, Tim Tszyu trying to open that gate to his Tim Tszyu era, and he's there to close the gate back in his face, which as an older fighter that's been on a long break and has injuries, was kind of a stretch. Really didn't see that coming into fruition. It looked like, to me, he would put up some resistance, but at the end of the day, it'll look like Andre versus David Benavidez. Tim Tszyu just being too young, too strong, too determined, too much heart, too durable. I think Keith would have had his moments, but eventually Tim Tszyu would have eventually broke him down and probably stopped him to the body, or he would have overwhelmed him in the later rounds to win on the score cards. Probably a unanimous decision, maybe a split decision if Keith Thurman could have got out the blocks real fast and had a good first 6 rounds to make it a little more methodical. Keith Thurman counts rounds, and he likes to try to collect like rounds by just winning on a certain amount of points in his mind per round. So without that killer instinct, without that youth, without that explosiveness that he had in his prime, like I had just finished watching The Gloves Are Off. That was a good episode of The Gloves Are Off with Tim Tszyu, Keith Thurman, Pitbull Cruz, and Rolly Romero with his little chihuahua. And that really kind of got me excited to see the fights. But at the same time, looking at the journey of Keith Thurman, looking at him when he was young, in his prime, with the long butters, with the long butters, and then to fast forward him into the present, looking a lot more aged, don't have that melanin, so his age shows a little differently. His hairline receded back. He don't shave it all clean and just keep the goatee to make him look a little bit more intimidating. He holds on to his little bit of hip hop, so he got the little receded hairline, and he just aged like we all age. Mike Tyson, about to fight Jake Paul. Mike Tyson at 60-something years old, almost 60 years old, I think age is a little better. He almost, when you see him working out, he almost look like he's in better condition and better shape than what Keith Thurman might have brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? But I think Keith Thurman would have came in there with some resistance, but eventually he would have got overwhelmed. We won't know now because he's out of the fight because he had a tear in his bicep, from what I hear. And you bring in Sebastian Fundora, the towering Inferno. And I like that fight because it's very tricky when you're studied and trained mentally and physically for one fighter, and then you fight somebody completely different. A complete opposite switch of Rue. And Sebastian Fundora, I feel like, is a dangerous fighter. He has the one loss to Mendoza. He had a good fight that he won I forget the guy's name right off the top of my head, but he broke up dude's face. Dude gave it a tough go, and he's came back and had some success. I just can't think of his name right now. Y'all let me know in the comments below. But Sebastian Fundora, he got knocked out with that one big shot. I think he was winning when he was fighting against Brian Mendoza, and he, just got caught with one big shot that leveled him, put him out, and he was not able to make the count. And he got back up, and he was still out on his feet. But one defeat doesn't define your career. You come back bigger, better, and stronger. I think the weight class, he's really cutting down, because he's like 6'7" or something, 6'5". He's really cutting down a lot of weight to make it to the 154. But for some reason, as tall as he is, he likes to fight in the pocket. He don't use his long range jab at all. He likes to step in and then fight in the wheelhouse. So that's going to be an interesting fight, because he can do some damage. He can hurt you, and he can knock you out as well. But you don't know how he's going to look. I think he's only had like one fight since he's been knocked out by Brian Mendoza. I think he had a comeback fight, and I think he was victorious. I could be wrong. I would have to go do my research. But I still think that's a decent fight for Tim Tszyu. Any fight besides the Jermell Charlo fight for Tim Tszyu, to me, is not as entertaining as what I wanted it to be for his career. But like you said, the show doesn't stop. You take out Keith Thurman, you have a contingency plan, you move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia cries, gets emotional over people trying to sabotage him, trying to stop his fight, trying to, quiet his message that he has for all the children in the world. It kind of reminds me of when the Ghost Herrera, I want to say, I'm probably saying his name wrong. I can't think of his name correctly right now, but the Ghost was about to fight Floyd Money Mayweather, and he was on a campaign just talking about Jesus saving lives and being a good Christian, and they was trying to really pit that against the image of Floyd Money Mayweather, who's all about money, and saying he was a woman beater and things like that. So during his whole campaign, he just was, really talking about Jesus saving lives and how Jesus saved his life. And when they fought, Floyd Money Mayweather did his fight, did the way he fight, defensively and stick and move, and he just outclassed the Ghost Herrera. And at the end of the fight, I remember Herrera still going up to him saying, well, at the end of the day, man, I just want to tell Floyd Money Mayweather, it's all about Jesus, and don't be so caught up in money, and be a positive influence for the kids. And then his dad came in the ring like, you said you wasn't going to run. You said you wasn't going to run. You ran like a coward the whole night. But Mayweather won the fight. So when it comes down to it, really, you got to go in there and win the fight. It's cool to have a great positive message. It's real cool to be trying to do something that help, save children. But at the end of the day, that's a lifelong fight. That's a war. It's not a battle. If you're really going to try to make a difference, saving one is better than saving none. Saving 100 is better than saving none. But there's millions of kids that do get abused, and that's a lifelong battle. I feel like right now, Ryan Garcia, you can't fight both of those fights. You have to be focused 100% on the fight against Devin Haney. Devin Haney is looking deadly. I watched some training footage of him, and he is just obsessed with turning himself into the best weapon he can possibly be. He's training supremely, and I feel like he's going to go into this fight dangerous and deadly, and going to go in there taking care of business, 100% laser focused. Ryan Garcia seems a little out of focus. You know what I'm saying? He's breaking down about the children, and about whatever he's talking about as far as the media or whoever's trying to shut him down. But some of the training I see him do is like 50-50. Some training I see him doing is decent, chopping the trees, some mitt work with Derrick James, and then you see another video a day later, and he's not looking focused. He's doing the slow motion and doing the weird footwork and doing the weird defensive moves. So you don't know if he's trolling or if he's trying to set a trap, or like Bill Haney said, he's a boxer that's trying to imitate a TikToker or whatever. And I think it might be a little bit of that too, like he's trying to act like this is the training that he's doing, but behind scenes, behind the closed doors, he's training very seriously. He looks like he's in good shape. He's fit. I know that he's training somewhat hard, here and there. But at the same time, I don't think he's training at the level of Devin Haney. I just don't see him training at the level of Devin Haney whatsoever. But maybe he is, and we're not seeing that. You know, time will tell. I really don't have no dog in this fight. Just really let the best man win. I like to see the training and the focus, and right now Devin Haney looks like he's more focused. He looks more dangerous. He looks more serious and more disciplined. Plus, he's just overall the more complete fighter, regardless of that. Even if Ryan Garcia was 100% focused, I still that all the leverage right now, the discipline, the IQ, I would still lean towards Devin Haney to go in there and take care of business. However, as far as resumes, I don't think there's nobody on Devin Haney's resume that I think Ryan Garcia wouldn't have beat, except for Lomachenko. And Lomachenko had a good performance against Devin Haney. However, I feel like that's probably the fight that elevated Devin Haney to a maximum level after he faced Lomachenko. Whether you think he won or lost, I think it elevated him to become a better fighter. And then he went in there against Regis Prograis, and he put on the best performance I've ever seen from him. And I think he's going to even improve that much more with more confidence and more training, more discipline, dedication to go in there and fight against Ryan Garcia, who I don't believe is 100% focused, but he might be, and he got a puncher's chance. At some points in times, he still does look like he's dangerous, just doesn't look like he's 100% committed or focused on the task at hand. So that leads me to believe that he'll go in there, try to have his moments. If he don't have them, that he probably mentally will collapse, and when he loses, he'll still be able to say, you know, him and Devin Haney will still be cool. They've been cool since they was kids, and he'll still be able to say, you know what I'm saying, this really was for the kids that's being abused, and it's all about trying to help the kids. And, you know, I really can't knock that. It is really about the kids and everything like that. But when we're talking about boxing, you know, and you young, I feel like you owe it to the sport to be at your best, put on your best performance, and then you got your whole life ahead of you to try to be a philanthropist and try to go save, you know, children of the world. But those are just some of my thoughts. Like I said, no dog in the fight. I salute Devin Haney. I salute Ryan Garcia. You know, Keith Thurman, get well soon. You get older, your body just can break down a little easier, and it doesn't heal like it used to when you was young. And you know, I don't know how much heart he really had wrapped in this. I think he tried to get himself psyched up because it was a big fight for him and a big moment and a big payday, and I think he was probably going to overtrain, if anything, for this fight. So, you know, Keith Thurman, get well soon to all of his fans. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got nothing to really hang y'all head low about. Keith Thurman still had great performances in his prime. Tim Tszyu, I think he's still on a mission, and I think Sebastian Fundora is going to provide certain elements that are still dangerous, risky business, and there's a possibility that he could get caught up in a inferno. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Nocturnal Thoughts, man. I'm signing out. Salute. Be blessed, everybody, and you know, hopefully there's some good fights in the future.